piece hot dog.
In a plot twist that nobody saw coming, yet everybody saw coming, the world's most powerful man, Elon Musk, has launched a possible takeover bid to gain control over OpenAI by offering the board $97.4 billion, which is not a bad deal for a company with only $3.7 billion in revenue that burns through over $5 billion per year. Unfortunately, Sam Altman has already declined this generous offer and even made a counteroffer to buy Twitter. Elon responded by calling Sam a swindler and came up with the new nickname of Scam Altman. People are calling Elon a financial terrorist, but there's more to Elon's offer than meets the eye, and it's yet another 5D chess move to troll his arch nemesis and finally beat the game of total world domination. In today's video, we'll analyze the recent sharks fire and what could be the most consequential beef of our lifetimes. It is February 11, 2025, and you're watching the Code Review. If you love or hate him, you gotta give Elon credit for his impressive developer portfolio. He made electric cars cool, he put internet in space, installed brain chips in us, he took control of the federal government, and is well on his way to fulfill the prophecy in Werner von Braun's 1954 book, Mars Project, where a character named Elon becomes the leader of Mars. But he's still missing one critical piece to win the game of total world domination, and that piece is artificial intelligence. He already has XAI and Grok, but OpenAI has become like Coca-Cola. It's just overpriced sugar water, but there's a ton of value in the brand name. You can get cheaper AI from RC Cola and better tasting AI from Pepsi, but Coca-Cola still dominates. The thing about OpenAI is that it's trying to go from this weird half-profit structure to a full for-profit public benefit corporation. And that doesn't sit well with Elon because he donated around $50 million to it when it was a non-profit. That's toilet paper money to Elon, but he's refusing to let this rug pull go because he cares too much about the safety of humanity. That's what he says, but OpenAI released receipts a few months ago showing how Elon wanted to prove OpenAI with Tesla and take control of it back then to fulfill his manifest destiny of bringing the world AGI. Now, despite this generous offer from a guy who's currently going as Harry Balls and offering school decisions at a 50% discount, it might seem a bit low considering how SoftBank just valued OpenAI at $260 million. The interesting thing about Elon's offer is that it's only for the non-profit, which OpenAI says is fairly valued at $40 billion, and they want to keep that value as low as possible when transitioning to the for-profit structure. You can't buy a non-profit outright, but you can buy its assets, and in this case, one of its assets is control over the for-profit, and that means if it's truly valued at $40 billion, the board of directors would be crazy not to sell it to Elon for over double the price, at least in theory, but what it does in reality for the time being is complicate OpenAI's transition to for-profit, because OpenAI profit needs to compensate OpenAI non-profit for its ownership of OpenAI profit, and what that means is that jacking up the price of the non-profit makes it more difficult for the non-profit to abandon its mission of creating AI for the benefit of humanity, to sell itself out for a for-profit mission for the benefit of shareholders. Not to mention, Microsoft is entitled to a share of OpenAI's future profits, so it likely complicates that team as well. Now, I highly doubt that Musk is doing this for autistic, altruistic reasons, but Altman is no good guy either. I feel like I'm reliving 1966 all over again. No different than when Cornelius Vanderbilt tried to take over the Erie Railroad, while Christie Gould used market manipulation to fight off the hostile takeover. But there are other elements at play here too, like OpenAI is about to release its own chip, and just a few weeks ago, they released a chatbot specifically for government. Meanwhile, Elon is running Doge, which has been uncovering all kinds of waste and abuse of taxpayer money, and the entire deep state is terrified of this 19-year-old hacker named Big Balls.
The unfortunate nickname, Big Balls.
Big Balls. One of Elon's Doge employees is now a senior advisor to the U.S. State Department, and now my Illuminati handler, who is being paid by USAID, is worried he might lose his job. Fortunately, though, the likelihood that Elon actually buys OpenAI is extremely low. It's currently sitting at 3% in the betting market, so one thing's for sure, the great Elon Altman beat is far from over. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Oh boy, well, it's safe to say the Hawk Tweet Girl is panicking after accidentally releasing this interview, and she had a terrible slip-up, which may have just incriminated herself and her team.
Half the money was supposed to go into my charity. That's really why I agreed to do it.
Because suddenly, she's not as innocent as what she's trying to paint herself out as, or at the very least, her team isn't. So things have apparently gotten bad for the Huxtable girls to the point where they're clearly panicking, and they have no idea what to do to get her career back on track. As she went from zero to suddenly having one of the largest social media podcasts in the world, all within a year of making a simple DJ show. I'm not joking. The internet is just a fascinating place. She went from being like oddly adored to a bit of a laughingstock, then back to being adored, and now she's fallen off the face of the earth due to some incredibly short-sighted business decisions, like launching a Hopua coin. Again, it's safe to say the internet is just a fascinating place, but almost as fast as she got her career, it was all put into jeopardy because she didn't have the foresight to not launch a crypto token. And not only did she launch a crypto token, it was also done in the sleaziest way possible to net the people behind the scenes as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. So, on December 4th, 2024, Haley Welch, aka the Hawktua girl, but I'll be referring to her as Haley for the rest of the video, and her team launched the Hawktua coin. Obviously, anyone with a brain would steer clear of that, but unfortunately, apparently there were more people lacking a brain than expected. The thing blasted to north of a $400 million market cap. That's insane. Until it went into free fall like 10 minutes later. Like, it was basically over in not even an hour after launch. That chart is just brutal. Everything about this just screams crime. And that's where the community started to put things together, how things just don't really add up here. It seems like the team rugged that thing. And if it wasn't the team, it was insiders, which, the team kind of set up. So the crypto community got into this large Twitter space where CoffeeZilla was one of the main speakers, FaZe Banks was speaking, and a handful of other influencers and crypto community members. And that's where we found out the team behind it hired Haley, paid her roughly $100,000 to use her likeness to promote the coin. And that will turn out to be the most expensive $100,000 of Haley's life, as it clearly jeopardized her entire career. Then to make things worse, they had a big Twitter space where Haley and the team behind it tried to talk themselves out of essentially looting her audience for a quick buck. And that's where one of the founders essentially said that they needed to do so to pay for the expenses of setting up all of this through the Cayman Islands, which is a hilarious answer. Imagine claiming you allegedly scam people so you could pay for setting up your company offshore to allegedly scam people. What a great explanation. Really shows the character here. But at the end of the day, all these points are vehicles for speculation. And some of these individuals in the crypto community who scan the stuff for 12 hours a day, they make a bunch of money off of the brand new people that Haley and a bunch of other influencers and celebrities bring into the space. And don't even get me started on the president and first lady making their own coins as well. And now allegedly a nation in Africa. But currently, there's a lot of speculation if that's actually real or not. Overall, just an absolute dumpster fire of a situation. The only bright side is, at least it's a slightly entertaining dumpster fire of a situation. So, she ends this community confrontation call by saying this.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt you, Nick, but hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And that slumber lasted for months. She hasn't posted a podcast episode until now, but they deleted it, like, right away, like, within an hour. Optics-wise, they played this extremely poorly. This woman shouldn't have had anything to do with running her own crypto coin.
How do you feel?
I don't know, I'm still a little shook up about it.
How was the nap?
It's a very long nap. I would say. That's what sucks about it, too. I had to read that off a phone and, put it in my words. I was like, I'm going to bed.
Well, there she confirmed that she was also used as a scapegoat for accountability, which makes that statement even funnier, that things were going so bad for the team that they told her to make this BS excuse to end the space. But before we get to her official statement, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Raycon. It's not the last couple of months.
And for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here.
I mean, that's cool and all, but it really shouldn't have been launched in the first place. But here is what she alleged that she was offered, or her team alleges that she was offered.
The other she did was like a brand image likeness deal. They paid her $125,000.
Fuck!
They were supposed to pay
I
her
picked squads.
$50,000.
I meant to pick solo.
She was
Fuck you.
transparency to the bonus and everything going on, which they did stay in communication about it, but it just was an ever-evolving game plan, essentially. So back end participation was to always be mutually
welcome back. Our guest today is my good friend Mike Melisinos. Mike is the founder of
Welcome to Liberty Falls. Population?
John Duffy was on the ground helping out with Interstate 40 and Helene victims, and they've been cut off with the third longest freeway in America out there. So he was there. This is another example of President Trump looking at all available recesses. resources as he expands his immigration crackdown. He plans to deputize IRS agents who often work on drug trafficking and money laundering cases, so they're going to have adjacent responsibilities now. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem contacted the Treasury Secretary requesting IRS agents to help ICE investigate human smuggling, trafficking, illegal hiring practices, and much more. Here's Senator Roger Marshall.
Promises made, promises kept here. President Trump said all hands on deck. I think most Americans would agree with me that the most significant initial concern to our country right now is this open southern border. So let's use the IRS agents to chase the money. Think about this, all the human trafficking, all the fentanyl poisoning, behind that is the money laundering. Who would be better than the IRS agents to track down that money laundering and work with the DHS agents?
Well, the president's strategy also includes an aggressive push for countries to take back their people. You know, the illegals here. 2 Venezuelan planes returned home yesterday carrying nearly 200 illegals deported from the United States. Venezuela, for just a hot second, refused to take back any deportees and immediately backed out. That's a theme that you're seeing now on different issues. President Trump praising his team.
When you see the great job that Tom Homan's doing and Kristi Noem and everybody else that they're doing, taking thousands of people a day out of here, and these are hardened criminals. These are murderers in many cases. Why do you allow this to happen to our country? We shouldn't have to be doing this.
I want to hit a lot of topics with my next guest. In focus now, Ari Fleischer, Fox News contributor, former White House press secretary. Great to see you.
Security chief to new arrivals. Could have used you sooner, but welcome just the same. I'm in the mansion, command center. Injured, but intact. Most everyone else is... oh, you've got eyes. Look, we need to get this situation under control ASAP. Are you ready for anything? Listen up. We've got 3 scientists unaccounted for, last seen in town. Locating and extracting them is now your top priority.
Busting heads for fun and profit. And business is booming. It's gonna take everything I have and flip me the bird for my trouble, isn't it? For me? Really? What's the catch? Sorry, force a habit. Better I gamble here than some dodgy warehouse poker game. Those fuckers cheat.
a team who didn't expect to take on the apocalypse today. You're handling this well.
I'll pummel you rancid fuckers till I'm stuffed. If it spews out a slingshot, I'm fucking done. Stop looking at me like I'm bloody lunch. I ain't your fucking Sango.
Max armor.
Anybody got mouthwash?
Alpha Team, this is Chief of Security Blanchard. Are you a sight for sore eyes? I've been holed up in the mansion since yesterday trying to organize a containment response. Now that you're here, let's lock down that AO. I'll track body cams and coordinate.